All right, it's 8:45. I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. Would Second Vice District Governor Fred Conger lead us in the invocation?
Shall we bow our heads and perceive God as we see him in our hearts? Father God, we thank you for this beautiful day. We thank you for the opportunity to come together as Lions. We appreciate and thank you for the service that we can provide to others, giving us an organization to work through together. Many groups, many different people working together to accomplish a single goal, and that's to better others and to help people that need help. Be with us today as we learn and hear about things that are happening in Lionism, and as we make decisions later in our cabinet meeting that affect our organization here at the district level. We pray that you will be with us and guide us, strengthen us, protect us, and help us be the kind of lions you would want us to be. In your name we pray. Amen. Amen.
Amen. Now, Second Vice District Governor Fred, would you lead us in the pledges?
Okay, we stand if you're able. Look at everybody's midriff. Okay, repeat after me. I pledge
allegiance
to
to the flag
of the United States of America and
and
to
to the republic
for which it
which
stands,
one
nation,
nation under God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with
with
liberty
liberty
and
and
justice for all.
for all.
and honor the Texas flag.
Pledge allegiance to the
Honor the Texas flag. Pledge allegiance
Italy,
to Texas.
One state,
faith
State
under
under
God,
God,
one.
one and indivisible.
Thank you.
well,
All right, and now for introductions, first Vice District Governor Esmeralda Rodriguez.
Good morning to all. We are so honored and so excited that you all were able to make it to our virtual midwinter conference. At this time, I'd like to welcome and introduce past council chair John East, past council chair John Landrum, past council chair Joe Montag, and we also have from our cabinet, of course, our district governor Billy Kettner, woohoo, and our myself, first vice district governor, second vice district governor Fred Conger, region chair for the West, Christy Householder, region chair from the East. We also have Fred Conger. We have immediate past district governor Vinod Mathur, cabinet secretary Peggy Smotherman, cabinet treasurer Danny Fletcher, and also we have Susie Schneider. Thank you so much for being here with us. Our global service chair, I believe is here, Casey Cheshire. Global membership chair, John Wicker. Is Pamela Baker here, our global leadership chair?
I haven't seen her.
Okay. Also, all our presidents. I see that we have a lot of different presidents. We also have past district governor Bill Smotherman, past district governor Keith Murray. Did I miss anybody on the chat? Would you all let me know so I can make sure that I don't leave you out? Let me look one more
Kathy
time.
Frazier, Secretary, Dallas Oak Cliff Lions.
Awesome. And we have a lot of secretaries and treasurers here. Thank you for being here. Also, at this time, I want to welcome and thank any of our Lions that are in attendance that have served in our military. Thank you for your service, and anybody that I know, all the families that have people that are serving in the military. Thank you all for all the support, and I'm so proud to be an American. So did I miss anybody? Please speak up now.
You may want to expand on Susie Schneider. She is the council chair elect. That means
Yes.
in 2 years.
Sorry
she will
about
be
that,
the
Susie. Yes,
council of
thank
governors
you.
chair.
And we appreciate all that commitment and dedication and inspiration. Council Chair elect Susie Schneider for being here with us. We appreciate you being here and supporting us in spite of this craziness of the pandemic. But really, we really appreciate that you have kept us going. And I'm so excited to be at our next Council of Governors meeting coming up the first week of February. Did I miss anybody? I'm gonna check one more time because I know we're doing Zoom.
Good morning. Yes, this is Rick Guzman from the Wiley Lions Club. I am going to be one of the presenters today. I am a former camper at the Lions camp and also a counselor. I am a retired state trooper. And good morning, everybody.
Well,
Good
good
morning.
morning, and thank you
Yeah.
for being here with us, and we're looking forward to hearing your presentation. Did I miss anybody
Good
else?
morning. This is Baylin Blansochibwa with the DeSoto Lions.
Awesome. And we
Good
have a lot of
morning, everybody.
presidents here,
We-
from Capel, from Richardson, Plano Early, Dallin Women's Club. I know we probably, we know that y'all are here, but we want to try to highlight some of you. Thank you so much. Plano Nepalese, Plano Nepalese, Lions are here. John Wicker, our membership chair, thank you so much. Christy, I think I mentioned everybody, and of course we have all our presidents, James Chen from Urban DFW Indian Lions Club. Let me touch base here. Wow, I'm so excited. We have several of our presidents here. Thank you, thank you. And we have treasurers and secretaries. Thank you all for all your commitment and dedication during these crazy times. We cannot do it without you. We're better, stronger together because of all of you. All right, Governor Billy, I think I'm done with introductions.
Okay, thank you very much, First Vice District Governor Esmeralda. At this time, I'd like the Richardson Host President, Fran Osborne, to give us a welcome.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of Richardson Host Lions Club, I welcome all of you to this midwinter conference. We would love to be sharing donuts and kolaches with you, but we'll do it virtually. And we welcome all of the clubs presented here, and I know we're going to learn a lot during this meeting. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you, Line President Fran. Line Christie Householder, President of Richardson Midday Lions Club. Would you like to give us a welcome also?
Hi, good morning, everybody. Thanks so much, Billy. And I just had a request to take the screen sharing off. So when I share the screen, because I'm controlling from my side today, some of you may not be able to see the participants. I will try to go back and forth between sharing the PowerPoint so that we can see what our presenters are presenting, and then I will come back every once in a while. But just a note to the wise, if you get two monitors, then you can actually see the participants and the PowerPoint. So I will try to go back and forth just to satisfy everyone's needs this morning. Thanks so much and welcome.
Thank you so much, Line Christie. I guess at this time, I don't really have many welcome comments. I'm so happy that everybody got to attend virtually. I wish that we could be in person. I know everybody does. We're on our way back from that. Some of us older people have already got our COVID-19 vaccine. I know some of you are still waiting, but I think we're on our way back from it. So let's keep our hope alive, and especially just keep meeting, even if it is virtually like we're doing today. And most especially keep serving those in need out in our communities. That's still where the need lies, and that's still why we're all Lions, is because we need to serve. So thank you very much. Line Immediate Vice District Governor Bernard Mature, are you ready for the NAMI presentation?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Actually, Billy, while we are getting ready for Vinod to present, I believe that Joe and Keith have a little bit of fun.
Oh, okay. So we need the tail twisters to come on at this time.
Well, welcome everybody. I'm glad to see so many people participating with us here today. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to hear Joe going around beating on the bedpan. And I'm not going to be hitting up everybody for ticket sales, which means we're not going to be able to hand out things at the end. However, what we're doing today is something that Governor Billy has requested. We're going to highlight several of the district charities and ask that you go online. We'll give you the link. Ask you to go online, and the $5 or $10 that you normally would give us for tickets, pledge it to them so that we can support the charities in that manner. So we'll be back with you as we get going. We've got a couple fun things to share with you as we go through the morning. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Lion Tail Twister, Keith Murray, Past District Governor. So at this time, are we ready for NAMI with immediate Past District Governor Vinod Mathur?
And Vinod, I just made you host, so you should be able to present your PowerPoint.
So I'll share the screen. Okay.
Yes.
Where am I sitting? On that side?
Yeah.
Perfect. Good job.
Okay, good morning, everybody. I'm Vinod Mathur. I am the NAMI chairperson for our district, and I'm really proud to be representing our district in this most important aspect of our membership. You all have heard about NAMI, North American Membership Initiative. It's mainly there for the one purpose, that is in USA or Constitutional Area 1, membership has been on a very steady decline for the last 40 years. You will not believe that. It opened my eyes too. What were we doing all these years? So better late than never. So we have started this initiative mainly to increase our membership. So our main mission is very simple, is to reverse this downward trend in our membership in the USA. If you can see this chart that I have, one chart that I have here, it shows the USA membership for the last 40 years. If you look at 1980, we were close to 600,000 members, 575 to be exact. And today, we are less than 300,000. So we have reduced our membership by almost 50%. We can't take this anymore. We really need to, we have a situation where we really have to think very hard how we can improve this drastic situation. Some of the main objectives of our NAMI, I'm going to go through this, the three main objectives, how to increase our membership. First is to regenerate our districts with some new clubs. We definitely need new clubs. This can be done by, having meetings, etc., special interest clubs, cyber clubs, there are all kinds of opportunities to open new clubs. The second objective is to revitalize clubs with new members. We definitely need to increase the membership, as I showed you earlier in the chart, how important it is to increase our membership. So we can do that by holding membership drive, growth events, increase our goal. So we have all kinds of ways to increase our membership. And the third objective is to remotivate members who are already there with new fellowships and exciting service. We need to keep them engaged so they stay with us and so we don't lose these people. So these are the three main objectives, hopefully to end up to how we can grow membership in our, not only in our district, but throughout the USA. NAMI goals are to, I think I'm missing part of it, it's 200 new clubs by end of June 2021 and have at least 44,000 new members, to recruit 44,000 new members across the USA. It's a process. I'm sorry I'm going through it quickly because I have only 15 minutes, so I'll cover as much as I can in the short time I have. So I will be going a little fast, but you can stop me. Please feel free to stop me. Now, NAM is the process. It's a simple process that we worked on. First is to build a vision where we want to be. So what we did was, it's in 2 phases. The phase 1 was doing a district analysis to see where the district is, where we are currently. So we reviewed all the data that's available to us for our district, membership, service, leadership, everything. We covered all sorts of things. And then we did a district assessment, that is to identify the problems we have. This was done by doing a SWOT analysis, that is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. We did this, we had a team, I'm going to go through that in a bit. So we did a SWOT analysis to identify problems and things that are working and not working. Then the phase 2 is actually develop a plan. It's a strategic plan development we have done based on all these issues that we discussed earlier, looking at the data and the problems. And then we had a strategic plan, and then we set some goals for our district. How did we do this? We had a data analysis. I'm just going to brush through this very quickly. Like district membership, our membership has been going down in the district also. In 2014, we were about 1863. Today, we are less than 1,700. So our membership has gone down. The same thing with the clubs. In 2010, we had 68 clubs. Today, we have 58 clubs. So that's the main purpose. We need to stop this downward trend. That's the message. Some of the other factors we also looked at in the data analysis is the service, how we are doing service in our district, leadership development, training, and also how we are in terms of club population distribution. We looked at both gender and ethnicity and generational distribution. See, are we getting enough younger members or not? So we looked at all these factors to come up with some good ideas. So I'm going to go through some of the SWOT analysis that we did very quickly. We had a team, about a dozen of us from our district, including the district leadership and some club presidents, etc. And we looked at all the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats for our district. I'm not going to read all this, but this is some of the analysis we did. Strengths, of course, we have a lot of strengths in our thing. We have a large population in the Dallas area with a strong diversity. We are heavily involved in the communities. We have a good training program. We keep up with the technology. We have a lot of Leo clubs. So we have a lot of younger members. We have good, strong leadership. We have a good zone structure, good participation by clubs, service activities, we do very well. These are some of the highlights of some of the strengths that we came up with. And in terms of weaknesses, we just points, few of those: failed to start new clubs. We're having difficulty starting new clubs. Also problem retaining existing members. Attendance in cabinet meetings is low. We're not doing proper new member orientation at the club level. We're doing okay at the district level. Low turnout in meetings, in the club meetings, low participation in the club excellence program. These are some of the weaknesses we went through. And then coming to opportunities, of course, we have Dallas is a large booming area with a booming population, a lot of companies moving in. So we have opportunities to get new members, especially the younger members who are moving in, and we can offer them young professional clubs. Branch clubs is another thing. Then family clubs, specialty clubs. We have a lot of opportunities to open new clubs. And also we have the current COVID-19 going on. This is, again, it offers opportunities, although it has downside, opportunities to do more service. We are needed more than ever right now. So it's very important that although we have problem with the COVID-19, it has some opportunities to serve. That's what we do as Lions. And some of the threats we went through, of course, COVID-19 has a threat because our clubs are not meeting. face to face. So we are doing, but we are keeping up with technology. We're doing Zoom meetings like we're doing today. We're having problem getting younger members, so we really need to focus on that. Financial difficulties due to this COVID to pay dues. So yeah, give opportunities to younger members for leadership roles. So these are some of the things that we have. Also some of the other service organizations that we're competing with, like Rotary Club and others. So these are some of the highlights of the SWOT analysis. And then we came up with a plan. I'm going to go through very quickly. Recruitment plan, again, based on SWOT analysis. We need to attract younger members, encourage members to have growth events. We are not having much, but we can do virtual. The way to do increase membership is, of course, family, friends, community, changing demographics. We need to recruit members from different demographics. That Hispanics and Black communities are underrepresented right now. So we need to recruit more women, participate in community events, etc. Rejuvenate Club. We have quite a few clubs with less than 10 members. We need to focus on that, how we can help them. So these are some of the things that we came up with in terms of recruitment. Again, I put together here recruitment because we are going through a pandemic. Recruitment is not that easy, but we can still do it based on technology. Since we are having Zoom meetings, you can invite prospective members to attend club Zoom meetings. You know, invite one or two whenever you can. Invite them to service projects if you're doing any. Then collectively with the help of club membership chair, invite few members, have a virtual meeting of about 6 members, 6 prospective members, show them about Lionism, how we can do that. So that way they get, so they know about the Lionism. And then follow up, after once you have that virtual meeting, follow up with the sign up application. You can do this online too. And some of the clubs can do pay dues online to make it easy, especially younger people don't want to fill out the form and all that. So they have them do electronically and potential to get new members. Then retention plan, of course, remember it's very important. We have several opportunities, My Club, My Way, proper induction of new members, new member orientation. We need to make sure they're properly oriented to know what's going on. Otherwise they get lost, lose interest, and we lose members. We need to conduct club ratings. It's very important to know how the members are satisfied or not. So that's the pulse of your club. Make new members welcome. When a new member comes, make them feel they're part of your club. Make them feel important. Involve region and zone chairs if you need some advice. Then new club development also, focus on underrepresented communities. Incorporate branch club. It's not bad to have branch club. You can, with 5 members, you can start a branch club, specialty clubs. So have GMT take their help. So this all helps in the retention of our club members. And then we also looked at, those are some of the retention. We looked at service and also leadership. So based on that, we have come up with certain goals for our district. So we need to recruit about 300 new members. I think we can do that. Historically, we have recruited between 200 to 300 every year. So we can do that. Charter 2 new clubs and at least 1 new Leo club. So we want to increase the membership to 1786. So keep the membership drops to 250. So that way we have a positive growth. So in terms of service, we did discuss quite a bit. I'm just going to highlight services. We need to serve at least 120,000 people. We do very well in service. So we will continue doing that, providing service to over 120,000 people. And also leadership training, etc. That needs to be focused on that too, because it's not just membership. All these 3 have to work together. Your membership, your leadership, and your service, then only can we improve our membership. So finally, we came up with a roadmap for our district. We measure every quarter, we go through that for all the things. First is this leadership, how we are doing in terms of leadership. We had schools and training. The second aspect is how about the membership growth? And the third aspect is the service. So we do all that, and for each quarter, I'll show you our results, how we are doing. So each quarter in fact, we do every month and then have a quarterly plan. So this shows how we are, last slide, how we are doing in terms of progress. Our district, if you look at that, this is through end of December. So we were midway through. Our goal was to recruit 150 members by December, but we fell short. We have recruited 106 members. And in terms of member drops, we supposed to keep it under 140, but we are getting close to 160. So in both areas, we are falling short. Especially December was a little difficult month. We were doing well in retention, but suddenly in December, we dropped quite a few. So we have 6 months. So, don't hold your breath. I think we can do it. Yes, we still have 6 months to go. We can have a positive growth in this. Remember, I would suggest each club to have at least 1% positive growth. We will make it, guys, clubs, please. We can count, hopefully we can count on your support in this by at least 1% membership growth. So that's all I have. I hope I did. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you very
Vinod?
much.
Yeah.
There were actually a couple really neat ideas in the chat as you were speaking. Thanks for folks to make those suggestions. I'm seeing have each member recruit at least one new member per year and have the new members do the same.
No, what I meant by, you're talking about 1%. No, what I meant was each club should, if they have a 1% membership, that is net growth. Say if you have 30 members, if you can grow by 3 members at least, that will help a lot to the district. So it's not too much, it's achievable goal that will help us to gain a positive growth in our district.
Excellent. Thank you, Vinod.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, are we ready for some more tail twistering to highlight our vision charities?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get the hosting rights back from Vinod. And
yeah, I stopped it. Yeah.
Thank you. Keith, go ahead and tell us what you got up your sleeve, you and Joe.
Muted.
You going to bring up the slide, Christy?
I am.
We'll get it up in just a minute. Lion Joe Kyle, this one is yours, I believe.
Is Sight and Tissue first?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm ready. I'll start talking. What does the Sight and Tissue Foundation do? They're primary to assist clubs within their community to serve people who cannot afford proper vision. This is what Lions are most known for worldwide. Right now, you can go to comments and make a pledge, or you can have your club send a check in memory of Helen Keller for a donation to our Sight and Tissue Foundation. Little information about them. In 2017, the new redesigned mobile eye clinic hit the road. We served about 2,000 children and adults last year. Our club can bring out the Neil Roach Mobile Clinic for a community eyeglass fitting event or for a parade for only $50. You can bring it out for the eyeglass fitting event with your own doctor, or for $300, Sight and Tissue can furnish a doctor for up to 4 hours. Glasses through our partnership with Essilor Vision Foundation have been dropped to $10, no matter what the prescription is. Now's the perfect opportunity to make a pledge in comments to support the mobile clinic. Thank you.
Thank you, Tail Twister Joe.
Okay, so Billy, just to interrupt really quickly, there are a couple people that, so, you know, you learn a lesson every time you host a Zoom meeting. And while I gave up all rights to Vinod as the host, there were several people in the waiting room, and and I couldn't let them in. So my apologies to those of you who are just coming in to join us. You missed an excellent presentation by past District Governor Vinod. But now, since you're in here with us, if you will just type in your name and your club name and what officer position you hold in the chat, that's how we're taking attendance today. So thanks so much for that. And thanks, Joe, for Lion Sight and Tissue. So I'm going to cut and paste this Lion Sight and Tissue information and put it in the chat as we go throughout the presentation today. And if anybody wants to write their personal check to this organization, then you are welcome to do that. Thank you. All right, Billy. Now we get to our favorites.
Okay. Now it's my honor to introduce Past Council Chair John Eads, who is also Past Chairman of the Executive Board of the Texas Lions Camp. And he's going to give us a presentation on the present state of the camp and the future goals. We've got some exciting things coming up, so I know we're looking forward to hearing from Past Council Chair John.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to give a short presentation here along with Lion Rick. We're both obviously connected to the Texas Lions Camp. I'm having the privilege of serving as the 50th president of the Texas Lions Camp since its inception in 1949. For the 70 years that we've been in existence, about 71 actually, thousands of families were faced back then when in 1949 with aftermath of polio that robbed many children with childhood. So the Texas Lions then asked the right question, is what are we going to do about the children? And from that question, you know, was born an uncertain time, a camp, and a very successful future, which now decades led us to the same. Where are you at? Again, the same question is, as we look to the future of the Lions Camp for 20 and beyond, what are we going to do about the children? So we developed a master plan. We began that process in 2017, September. And we developed a plan by going through team surveyed summer staff, parents, campers, analyzed and visited other camps. We discussed improvements with stakeholders, and we came up with a master plan along with Marmon Mock, which is our master planning processors and architects. I want you to consider something as we celebrate, we have celebrated our 70th birthday. And I want you to consider that between 1999 and 2016, there were 332,836 children born with special medical conditions in the state of Texas. And that doesn't include the type 1 and type 2 diabetic children. So conservatively speaking, there would be at least 250,000 kids every 15 years born that would need the services of Texas Lions Camp. So the vision for 2020 is the master plan, obviously. Next slide. And you will see that in May of this year, bunkhouse number 2 got virtually destroyed by the sheer winds we had at the camp. These structures have been there since 1949. They were built, I shouldn't say 1949, they were built in 1952, 53, and 54. And I know Lion Rick has had an opportunity to stay in these bunkhouses himself, as well as be a counselor to those. And this is very, very important to notice that the structures themselves are just barely hanging on. So what is the vision for 2020? Next slide, please.
No,
Or
actually.
can you run the video?
Sure.
This is our CEO of the camp.
Good morning. It's Memorial Day morning. I'm standing in front of Bunkhouse 2 in the aftermath of last night's powerful storms that moved through our area. At about 7 p.m., I would estimate winds in excess of 75 miles an hour, straight line out of the southwest, moved across Kerrville and the Hill Country. And you see this morning some of the result of that. In fact, this debris field extends from Bunkhouse 2 all the way down to the Arts and Crafts Complex. As you guys will recall, we started construction to build back the roof on Wing A of Bunkhouse 2 last week with Waterman Construction Company. I've reached out to them this morning to let them know what we found last night and this morning, and haven't called a halt to that construction, but just a pause as we make assessments, reach out to insurance, and find out what next steps are. The structure that you see this behind me is the porch from the B wing on Bunkhouse 2, and so this has now impacted the entire roof. As you'll recall, we had petitioned the insurance company to include the entire roofing structure in the last storm, which they refused to do. But clearly it has been impacted, and so we'll be reaching out to them, starting with my agent to find out what next steps might be. Also, Bunkhouse 1 was impacted to a much lesser degree, but we've lost some of the porch structures and railing on that structure, and also lost shingles on Jackson and Real. The horse barn sustained some damage on the utility shed, having lost the back panel, and then some of the roofing on some of the stalls were also taken last night. So this is what we look like this morning. I'll keep you updated and apprised of where we stand with insurance, but wanted to get this information out to you.
Right now, the speaker's no longer speaking, but they're showing all of the damage that was done in shots.
Go to the next slide.
I think that's our last slide for yours, Rick. I think this is the last one.
Go to the next slide.
The next slide is computers for the blind. So,
okay.
Yeah. Did you have?
So Vision 2020 master plan objectives are: 1, to develop a Texas Lions Camp real estate to create 4 camps in 1 campus, and also create an inviting atmosphere for our campers and those visitors that come by, as well as the Lions. Also increase the types of lodging that are available, and then provide new activities that will engage the kiddos. So main campus phase 1, which we are in right now, and you've seen the condition of bunkhouse number 2. Bunkhouse number 1 is very severely damaged. Also Smith and Real buildings. All of these buildings are on the back side or north of the back of the cafeteria. And they're up on the hill a little bit, or you might say down the hill in some cases, but they are all in desperate need to be replaced. The plumbing is old clay pipe. The walls are deteriorating. The foundations are cracking. We have all kinds of issues that we have repaired all these years, and they've outlived their lives, so it's time to replace them. And that would be 8 bunkhouses. That would be a total square footage of 6,754 square feet per bunkhouse, 3 wings per bunkhouse, 20 to 22 occupants per wing. So that would be 8, of which we estimate the cost to be around somewhere in $14,600,000 for those bunkhouses. Phase 2, or phase 1, also includes a staffing housing lodge, which would be 25,000 square feet, have public space, a caterer's kitchen, dining, meeting, and flex space, conference room, 32 living suites, 4 ADA living suites, an outdoor space, patio, and courtyard. That's an estimated cost of $9,500,000. Phase 2 is Eagle Trail. Eagle Trail would be 15,300 square feet. It would be public space, bunkhouses 3, 4 cottages, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 2 bedroom cottages, 2 bedroom cottages, 3 3-bedroom cottages, lawn for activities, expanding parking lot, pond and pond improvements, because there's already a little small pond there, plus a cooking pavilion and an amphitheater. That's number 2. Remember what I said, 4 campuses in one space. So then we have the next phase, which would be Frontier Village Satellite Camp. And we'd have 2 satellite camps here, one at Frontier Village, one at Inspiration Lake, which is down on the east side of Inspiration Point. So the satellite camp would accommodate up to 232. It'd be 5 30-occupant bunkhouses, 6 12-occupant bunkhouses, 28,500 square feet of programmable flex space, and approximately 90,000 of outdoor lawn and outdoor activity space. And then the Inspiration Lake Satellite Camp would have 3 30-occupant bunkhouses, 3 18-occupant bunkhouses, 3 6-occupant cabins, 5 2-occupant cabins, 19,500 square feet of programmable space in the dining and kitchen, approximately 62,500 square foot of a water lake with 15,000 square foot of shoreline, approximately 350 dam and additional berm to redirect the runoff. You know, by the way, this would be on the east side of our current lake, and they would feed each other in terms of the water flow. So being able to see out of this is the four campuses of 4 structures in one camp. It's going to allow us to virtually multiply our camping capability by at least 2 times, if not more. And we can actually run multiple camps at the same time with these facilities. We are only running 1,500 approximately kids through every year. We ran 1,505 in 19, which was the last year we've had the camp open due to the COVID issue, and we may not be able to run COVID this year. We are moving forward because in February of this year, or 20, the board approved moving forward with this phase, which we are now in the fundraising phase of this campaign. Obviously, the total cost estimated to be $36 million. And if each of you would buy a lottery ticket in the name of the Texas Lions Camp, we might be able to do that with $750,000 coming up. We might be able to put that thing together. But we're going to be raising that money from now, and hopefully we will be done with phase 1 in about 3 years. So how do we handle campers now? If we've got 2 bunkhouses that technically are out of kilter, we're not going to be able to have those kiddos involved. Okay. So we are going to be able to have a normal, we think, normal session for the kids with physical disabilities, Down syndrome, cancer. But when it comes to the diabetics, which is our fullest camp, we will probably have to cut back on those campers for a little while in order to be able to get the construction done and the completion. We've already broken ground. We've already taken bunkhouse down to the ground. It was by the insurance company, total, and they said they would just cover the cost. We're going to use that money, obviously, toward this. Our first phase is estimated to be $10 million. And we're underway with, if you remember the Polar Bear Challenge that was out, that raised us around $200,000 toward the buildings, and we're continuing to move forward. So I'm going to turn it over to Rick. I know that he's got some very interesting stories to tell because he has been a camper and he has been a counselor down there. Rick, welcome this morning and glad to have you on board.
Thank you
John,
very
thank you
much.
so much. Hey, Rick, could you hold off for just a second, pretty please? Because I would like our tail twister to let us know what's happening in the chat right now, because it's some really cool things. Line Joe or Keith, have you been checking the chat?
You ready for the next phase?
Actually, I was just going to mention that we have all kind of pledges coming in. This is like a real telethon here. I'm real excited. We have Rita has pledged money to the camp, and Prakash has pledged money to the camp, and it looks like Pamela Baker family has pledged money to the camp. And Line Esmeralda has. Thank you guys. Excellent job. And
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. And then John, before you leave, we have one question from the chat that came up, and it said, is the camp ever in need of manual unskilled labor like Boy Scouts?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear that. You broke up.
Sure. Is the camp ever in need of manual unskilled labor like Boy Scouts?
Well, yes, we have work days every year, and they're usually the 1st of March, the 1st of April, and the 1st of May in those weekends. But we're not having them right now, obviously, because we're not sure what we're going to do about the camp yet. And that decision will probably be made this February at the meeting coming up. So yes, we do use free labor, if you wish, love labor, I call it, because the folks come down there love the camp. They come down there freely of their own goodwill and out of their own pockets just to help us do maintenance work at the camp. So yes, we do have opportunities for that.
All right, excellent. Thanks, John. Okay, so in the chat, I put the address for Lions Sight and Tissue Foundation, and I put a direct link. They make it even easier to donate to Texas Lions Camp. So that link is there also. So those of you who have pledged, thank you so much. Go into that link and go. All right, so now Rick, before you speak, we're going to have a little pause for a second, and Keith or Joe are going to do the next charity, which I think might be one that's a little closer to my heart. Let me go back and present here, and Keith will let you guys start.
The one we're talking about now is the Computers for the Blind. This is an organization that was started a few years ago to provide computers to those that are visually impaired, whether they're totally visually impaired or they're totally blind. They take and rehab the computers. Any computer that you have can be donated to them. I know I've made a donation in the past myself. One of the drop-off points where you can drop your computer is at the Lighthouse for the Blind in Fort Worth. There are some others available as well that you can contact Lion Christie and she can assist you with that. But the Computers for the Blind, the donations are used for the staff to rehab the computers. In some cases, they have to buy some parts. Other cases, they have to require experts to come in and do some of the work on the computer because they're all swiped, cleaned, etc. before they're given out. And then they're given out through organizations on that. So we encourage you to make a donation to the Computers for the Blind. The link is on the website and is on the slide in your, that you have right now. Thank you, Christy.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate that.
I
Okay.
can tell you that our firm, when we moved, we provided quite a number. I think some 20 to 30 computers that we turned over to Computers for the Blind, and they did an excellent job of cleaning those and then utilizing them for their purposes that they were intended for. So I highly recommend it.
Excellent. Thanks so much. Okay, so we're going to have Rick come and tell us. He's got about 10 minutes to tell us his personal story. And I'm going to share the screen again in a few minutes because there's a poll that Lion Rick and Lion John Eads did. And it's really kind of cute about how much do you actually know about Lions Camp. So as Rick tells us his personal story, you can take that poll also. Rick, you are up.
Okay, Chris. Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Fantastic. First of all, thank you so much for inviting me to speak today. And thank each and every one of you for being on Lion. Thank you, John, Lion John, for your presentation. And it hurts my heart to see that the bunkhouses that have been destroyed, but we can definitely pull together and get that taken care of. Let me start. My name is Rick Guzman, and I was born in 1961. I'm 60 years old. I just turned 60. I was born in Edinburgh, Texas, down in the Rio Grande Valley, but I was raised in a little town of Bloomington, Texas, which is just south of Victoria. And Victoria is probably closer to Houston than anywhere else. It's just west of Houston, about 125 miles. When I was 9 years old, I was in the 3rd grade. We're playing football, sandlot football with some kids, my brother and I. And I was, of course, a typical kid, very rambunctious, very active, very gung-ho. And we were playing football, and I sustained an injury where I got hit just right or just wrong. I don't know. But it separated my right hip from the socket. And this kind of injury, they has identified it in the past, that happens mostly to young boys, sometimes to young girls, but mostly to young boys because they're so active. It's called leg cavity perthus. So my whole leg started hurting, and one thing led to another, and my mom took me to the doctor, and we finally got to meet an orthopedist there in Victoria by the name of Milton, Dr. Milton Wilhite, which I'll never forget. He first looked at me and took x-rays, and definitely my that socket had been separated. Well, there's a growth plate in that area, and you just can't shove it back. You have to let it just grow back gradually. If you don't, then your leg will be shorter in length and smaller in diameter. So therefore, the treatment started, and the basic treatment is to stay off the leg. Well, the initial treatment was to use crutches and stay off the leg. Well, being a young boy at 9 years old, after my leg stopped hurting, I would start using my leg anyway. So then the next step was to have a leather strap that would go around my waist and around my left shoulder, and had another strap come in the back, and it would hook to a little hook in the heel of my right shoe. Well, that worked somehow a little bit, but of course I still use my leg from time to time. So the doctors went ahead and said, well, we're going to go ahead and place a brace on you. So around 1971 or so, my parents took me to Corpus Christi and got me fitted for a brace. After a lot of x-rays and what have you, of course, going to school and having a brace, and I went through a lot of kids will be kids, and a lot of ridicule. So I got into a lot of fights because of the name calling and what have you. But it made me stronger. It made me stronger physically and mentally, for sure. I even got to into some fights with my older brother. But it was in 1971 or so that Lion Leslie Angerstein, a local businessman, he had a small grocery store there in Bloomington, and I thank him to this day because he came to my parents and he let us know about the Texas Lions Camp, and at that time it was called the Texas Lions Camp for Crippled Children. And I know I'm too big about being politically correct. So to me, it's always going to be the Texas Lions Camp for Crippled Children, because that's the way I identified it in my mind. So he came to my parents and he let us know and let me know about the opportunity that I had to attend a 2-week, not a 1 week, but a 2-week camp. And he personally drove me from Bloomington to Kerrville. It didn't cost my parents anything. he let me know what I needed as far as, if I wanted to take an extra blanket or personal hygiene items and maybe my own pillow. But it was a blessing. And I got to go, I believe it was 1971, 1972 or so. And my experience was great there because, I think looking back, I was having a little pity party for myself. I was feeling sad because of kids making fun of me, and then I couldn't participate in a lot of the sports and things like Little League baseball. I couldn't be an altar boy at our church because it's just the physical demands were too much. So I get over there and I see kids that don't have limbs, don't have legs, don't have arms, kids that had been burned so bad that didn't have any fingernails, they had melted off. So it made me realize that, I was just having a pity party and I needed to suck it up, basically. And at the early age of 10 or 11, I said, you know what, you're going to get through this. You're going to get this brace off. These kids are going to be like this for the rest of their lives. So you need to stop fending for yourself and get on with your life. So I did. And I had a great time over there because there were so many activities from participating and competing in the cleanest bunkhouse to swimming, archery, fishing, arts and crafts, and even going camping at nighttime and telling ghost stories. That was fantastic. It was really, it was great. And I'll look forward the next year to going. And I did. It made me very compassionate towards people. And I think that's what led me to be a police officer, because I never dreamt about being a police officer. I wanted to get into banking. I wanted to be a loan officer, to have banker's hours, because I was a musician and I played in a band, and I wanted to have my weekends open. So anyway, moving right along, getting through junior high, it was about that time that the doctor said, okay, you're ready. I want you to I was 6th grade, take off the brace. We'll see how you do. I don't want you doing any physical activity. I just want you to normal everyday things, is walking, no jumping, no running, no basketball, no football, no nothing. So I did that for the 6th grade. And then the next year, 7th and 8th grade, I played basketball and ran track. Had a great time doing that. Got busy working out, lifting weights, got real strong. Then I got into music and the band. So later on, I was really into my music. I was playing trumpet at the time, and now I play 5 different instruments. I really love music. And so I got a scholarship, music scholarship, to attend Victoria Junior College. And I did that until my father sustained an injury, knee injury. And I was the last one at the house there at home. And he was receiving a workman's comp. So I decided to just stop going to college and find work. Well, I started working. There was a deputy in Uncle, everybody knew him, Uncle Pete Brown, Henry P. Brown. And he really got me a job there at the sheriff's office as a detention officer. And henceforth, that was my commencement into law enforcement. Being there, I almost worked about 4 years there, just short of 4 years. But during that time, I got involved in martial arts and was participating and practicing Taekwondo, where a real estate attorney by the name of John Doris really encouraged me to become a state trooper. And I looked into it and I tested and I met the requirements. I had gone through the Victoria Police Academy prior to that, but I was still working in the jail. So I was accepted. And at the age of 24 in 1985, I attended the Texas Department of Public Safety Highway Patrol Academy. I went through that, and about 2 years later, no, a couple of years later, about 1998, I was 27. I served during my vacation, my holidays. I took a 2-week vacation, and I participated in the Texas Lions camp as a counselor, and had a blast there. And I told the director not to tell anybody that I was a state trooper. I didn't want to scare anybody. I told him afterwards at the end, but there I made a relationship with this young man who I think he had either muscular dystrophy or cerebral palsy, one of the two. But most of the time he was in a wheelchair, but he was able to from time to time walk with his crutches. I helped him with his swimming. We had a great time. I didn't let him know what I did for a living, but there towards the end, I come to find out that his father, Carl Barrington, was a detective for the Waco Police Department. And I got to meet Carl. As a big gentleman, not just a giant, a big guy. And so once the camp was over, I escorted this young man and his dad back to their car. And one thing that I experienced was great. Carl was excellent with his son, and his son was about 14 or so, 13, 14. I remember walking to the car, and the young boy was behind us, and Carl and I are talking, and Carl stops and he looks back and he goes, "Hurry up, slowpoke." So he was fantastic, and he didn't feel sorry for him. He didn't baby him at all. He was great with him. And I remember the kid's name, but I'm not going to say it by design. I'll let you know why here in a little bit. So about a year later, I met with this young man and with his father. I was stationed in Port Lavaca, Texas, in the Highway Patrol. I took him to Port O'Connor, and we did some fishing, and we had a great time. I put him on some redfish. We had a great time. After that, I was stationed in Refugio, Texas for about 2 years, and then stationed in San Antonio. I did 11 years in the Highway Patrol and 10 years as a sergeant in narcotics. I retired in 2006 and been in Wiley ever since. And I've done a plethora of fraud investigations for different companies. And at the present time, I'm working for Farmers Insurance. When I retired over here, I brought my parents with us, so they lived with us. Within the last 3 years, I've lost both of them, but I've been truly blessed to have them for such a long time. My dad died; he was 89, and my mom was 83. We came along with my wife and 4-year-old twins that are now 19, and they've graduated. My other two boys, our other two boys have graduated, one from A&M and the other one from believe it or not, from UT. So we can gig them and we can hook them at our house. I've been very involved with the Knights of Columbus and the leadership team, and I'm a music director for Christ Renews His Parish, our men's retreat. And I have just had a blast and fond memories. I did serve in the membership board there at the Founders Lions Club in San Antonio, where I was a member. I was the Lion there as well. But like I said, I can't thank each and every one of you for all you do for the Lions. I will be a Lion for the rest of my life. I love being a Lion. I love getting back to the community. I think it's just so important. And I can't thank Lion Leslie Angerstein for that opportunity. Do you have any questions?
Lion Rick, my name is Joseph Montag. I'm actually from Victoria. I knew Leslie through my dad's grocery store through in Victoria. He was a great guy. Bloomington was.
He was fantastic.
Well, what a treat to get, all of the knowledge that we can get from John, and then that firsthand experience from Rick. A special morning for sure. So thanks again. We have all kinds of pledges that are coming through on the chat still. Thanks, guys. Keith, you are ready now to introduce the next charity?
Yes, we are. You got the slide just put up?
It is ready.
All right. We're talking today about another one of the charities supported by the district. This is World Service for the Blind, which is located in Little Rock, Arkansas. Some of you may recall several years ago, this was called Lions World Service for the Blind. And there was a decision that was made that because the support of the Lions is about 25–30% of the total budget, but the rest of it comes from the different states' support and also from corporate support. So the name was changed to World Services for the Blind to encompass the full gamut of it. Basically, their job is to take somebody who has become visually impaired or potentially fully blind, teaches them mobility, how to use the white cane in getting around. They get around the city of Little Rock to work on that. They also are taught how to understand the basics of Braille. They're taught how to use technology such as an iPhone to read the label on food at the grocery store so they can determine what kind of can it is and what the contents are of the information. So it's something that, again, is part of our 100% charities. We ask that you make a donation to them. The link is on the website. The link is on the slide that's in front of you at the present time. So it's worldservicefortheblind.org in Little Rock, Arkansas. Sharon Giovanni is the current president of it, and she's actually been to our district and made some presentations in the past. Past council chair John Landrum is on the board there, and Lion Christie is also active with that organization. So again, we ask you to consider making a pledge or a donation to them as well. Thank you, Christie.
Absolutely. And I forgot to tell you guys that thanks for doing the poll. I hope you had a little fun with that as Rick was speaking. I put some kind of silly answers in there too, but yes, the buildings are 69 years old. Yes, they have 1,500 kids per summer, campers. Our own wonderful John Eads was the one who started the Brick Endowment Program. And on GuideStar, Texas Lions Camp is platinum level, which is the highest level available. So way to go, Texas Lions Camp. And we have a really nice pledge from the Garris family for $500 to Texas Lions Camp. Way to go, Garris family.
Thank you, Tom.
Okay, so Billy, would you like to introduce our next speaker? I'm going to give you a chance to let her speak before I start the presentation back up again.
Okay, sounds great. It's my honor to introduce our council chair, elect Susie Snyder. Y'all may be confused by these titles, but basically it means that right now she's the council chair over our second vice district governors, who includes Fred Conger. And Council Chair-elect Susie is an instructor at the Texas Lions Leadership Forum, and she does wonderful programs. So it's my honor to introduce Lion Susie Snyder to give us a presentation on diversity and kindness matters.
Thank you. Thank y'all for inviting me to come and speak this morning. Diversity is one of the subjects we do seminars on at the forum in Austin every year. We're going to miss having that forum this year due to our COVID, but we understand that it's necessary unless we could have done it virtual, but maybe next year. Diversity is something we need to talk about often. You hear a lot of people say, Lions Club, what's that? That's an old man's club, you know, and they don't realize the gamut of what we do and who we cover. There'll be some questions in here that will have you can answer in the chat or raise your hand, and Lion Christie will acknowledge you. We're going to talk first diversity. If you want to do the next slide.
My hands are cold, so that feels good.
What we're going to look for in this session is to define diversity, identify the dimensions of diversity, recognize the benefits of a culture of diversity, and develop strategies to overcome challenges. That can take a long time, so we'll probably just kind of highlight that. And we want to create a climate that supports diversity. What's the first word that comes to your mind when we hear diversity? And just think about it for a second. I think my first word that comes to mind is different. And I think that's probably the first word that comes to most people's mind as they think about diversity. The definition, diversity refers to those human qualities that are different from our own, outside the groups to which we belong, yet are present in other individuals and other groups. The dimensions of diversity, there's two types of characteristics. First is differences that we cannot change, and our secondary is differences that can be changed. So here's a time in the chat room if you'd like to list some things. What are some primary dimensions of diversity? Differences we cannot change. You can put some chat answers in there or raise your hand. It takes a second for those to come up.
Age is one.
Say again. I'm sorry, Fred.
Age.
Age. That's right.
Nationality. Or original nationality.
Origins, yes.
Our color.
Our color.
Culture.
Ethnicity.
Say those again.
Ethnicity.
That's right.
Our language.
Culture.
Height.
Profession.
Right.
Profession.
Profession. That can be changed though a lot with the profession. Mostly when we think about the primary, first comes to mind is age, gender, and race. Those type things that are things that we can't change. What are on secondary differences? What are things we can change?
Hair color.
Hair color.
Yeah.
Language.
Language.
Attitude.
Profession.
Our opinions.
Correct.
Socioeconomic status.
Correct.
Education.
Right.
Relationships.
Relationships.
Religion.
So there's lots of different things on the secondary that we can change. Understanding and encouraging diversity is an important part of being a Lion. So we're going to talk about some ways that that we expect things that we do and expect others to do in diversity. The first one is assimilation, and the second is pluralism. So the first one we're going to talk about is assimilation. That's when we want people that come in to our club or to our circle to become like the majority. Next one is the next slide. Oh, go up one. I think we skipped one there, did we? We're all alike. We expect everybody to be alike and to not change, come in and do exactly what we're doing. So that's assimilation. We want people to come in and be like us. The culture of pluralism is when we accept and promote individuality. We welcome people to come in and to to be different, to bring in ideas and things we may never have thought of. I believe there's a video next that we're going to show. See how the different people are there. We all look different. Hey, Christy, if you'd run our video for us.
This is great. I love this one.
A lot of you may have seen this, but some of you may not have.
You enjoying your first pancake breakfast?
Oh, it's delicious. Thanks, Lion Carissa. Hey, guys, listen, I know I'm a new member, but I had an idea.
Do tell.
What if we also served waffles?
Waffles. Lions eat pancakes. Always have, always will.
Do you want to lose your pin?
No, pancakes are the champion of the breakfast table. They're the only food worthy of the king of the jungle. Well, it might be nice to have a little variety, right? I mean, hey, look, we have syrup, we have butter in the back, and I actually carry a waffle iron in my hatchback.
You remind me of this guy who tried to bring French toast to the group. French toast.
Yeah, we don't talk about FTD anymore.
R.I.P. FTD. Oh, yeah, he didn't die. But he's dead to us.
Hashtag
Lions pride.
Look, I know that being a lion is all about following tradition, but I'm just saying, what if we made our own traditions, you know, shook things up a little bit? Like what if we served crepes?
No.
Or a quiche? What about dinner for breakfast? It's very clear. Pancakes in the morning, spaghetti at night, everything in Lions Club will be all right. It's there in the bylaws. No, it isn't.
It should be.
Sorry for going against the group here, right?
Understood.
Yeah,
Don't worry
just-
about it. No big deal.
I brought a salad for myself. I hope that's okay.
Absolutely. Fine.
It's not Rabbit's Club. Eat your pancakes.
Do you want some syrup?
No, thank you.
Do you want syrup?
Yes, I
There
would
it
love some
is.
syrup. Thank
Oh,
you.
fine.
Thank you. Yes, we do that, don't we? What were these people, these lions, expecting? Were they following assimilation or were they following pluralism? Obviously, they were
Simulation.
a simulation. Yes, they expected everybody to come in and be just like them. I love the pancakes in the morning and spaghetti at night, and everything in Lions Club will be all right. I love that. If y'all haven't seen these before, if you go to YouTube and search Lions spoofs, there's quite a number of these little videos like this. There's one on tickets that is really good. So pull that up sometime and just enjoy those. A culture of pluralism is one that accepts and promotes individuality. However, we still have its own set of rules and guidelines, but we support and the differences and seek to benefit from those differences. We do have rules, we have bylaws, we have our constitution, things we have to do, but it's not to the extent of what this little video said. Okay, go ahead, next one. Does your club or your district restrict membership to exclude any of the primary or secondary dimensions of diversity? And here's another one if you want to answer in the chat room or raise your hand or speak there. Do we do that?
We do have a lot of rituals that might exclude some folks.
We do, and we're going to talk about that too in a little bit. I'm seeing some answers down here.
I know prayers can sometimes exclude other religions. And
Exactly.
we have a multitude of religions in our groups.
Yeah. We have a club in our district where I'm over in 2E2. I don't know if we said that, but that do not like women. They're getting better. They're loosening up a little bit. They're getting younger members, but they don't want women in their club. And we had a lady join their club, and they let her do anything work related, service related, but they wouldn't let her be an officer. They'd let her basically no decisions. She did it for about 3 years and said, I've had it, and left. When I was district governor, I thought, okay, I'm going to go visit this club. I'm not sure how I'm going to be accepted, but we'll see. Well, they invited me to come on their Christmas party night when all the spouses were there. And so I fit right in, but you know, they planned that very well. They let me give my little speech in the whole 9 yards, but it wasn't at a club meeting. You know, that very much is not practicing diversity. We've even tried to start a women's club in that town and have them sponsor a club for women. They won't do that either. So it's, you know, sometimes we have to face these things and deal with them. But I think for the most part, Lions across the board, that we are pretty good about inviting those that are different from ourselves. Christy, would you read that Esmeralda put up?
Sure. It says, no, we reach to everyone. We have diversity in our club, young members, older members, women and men, different sexual orientation, variety of religions, backgrounds, etc. Beautifully written.
Yes.
And Ron says, our club's attitude is more ideas, hands and feet, the better. I am very proud of the diversity in our club. Wonderful. And then even, I think that Nia and John both said, no, our club tries to reach everyone, but is sensitive to others.
That's good.
What I like is when we pray, we just say God, because in our club, in Oak Cliff Dallas Club, we have Buddhists, we have, of course, Christian and Jewish, and I and my family are Muslims. And actually, I love the way the prayers start before every event. And, you know, under God, we're just the same.
Right. Thank you for that. That's good.
And Esmeralda mentioned that we're all that they're looking for is a servant's heart.
Right. It is right. We'll go to the next slide. So do we as, oh, go up, I'm sorry, go back one. Do we as a club or a district, do we encourage members to come in and give up those things, those secondary differences, and become like us? Any thoughts on that coming up? I know it takes a minute for the chats to pop up.
I think we do somewhat.
I think I would like to know how to resolve that if we felt like it was happening.
Right.
Oh, too.
And right, John, I hope we would not do that. We do hope that. And I think maybe now it's better than it used to be. I think back a number of years ago, we did expect people to come in and maybe change some of their differences, wear what we wear and do what we do. And again, we'll talk about that in just a minute. Next slide, please. If members are supposed to change to fit the normal, then your club or our district isn't really practicing diversity. We're practicing diversity in a culture of assimilation. We may not be fully experiencing the benefits that diversity can bring. There's so many benefits that we can benefit from. Next slide. So how can a culture of pluralism, I always have a hard time with that word, benefit Lions as we face our own challenges? What are some thoughts on how expecting people to come in and accepting them and letting their differences help us? What are benefits of that?
Variety. Membership.
New ideas.
Someone else. Go ahead.
New ideas.
More ideas.
Right. As more pluralism, multiplicity will bring more ideas of service activities. I think that certainly helps.
Yes.
And we get inroads into other communities. You know, if we didn't have Indian and the Nepali clubs, we might be excluding them, those cultures or those groups, as far as receiving some of our services.
That's right. There's so many things that can come, that can benefit. And like someone said, just more members. We look out and see those that are different from ourselves. Would you read that one, Christy, what John said?
If we could just give a second to find out what the differences are and be taught a little about different cultures and celebrations. I agree. We probably would be much better off.
Yes, we would. Another dimension of, not a dimension of diversity, a type of a difference is handicaps. Sometimes we look at people and think, I don't think they can come in and help us, but we need to give them a chance. For those of you who know me, my husband had a brain aneurysm quite a number of years ago. And during that time that he was so sick and so disabled, his club could have said, guess he won't be back. Let's write him off. If they didn't do that, his club stepped in. They helped me do everything I needed. They paid his dues. They did what they could do to keep us involved and keep us being a Lion. And, once he got better and was able to come back to the club and come to meetings, that was just the highlight of his day, is to be able to go to Lions meetings. He's missing meetings so bad. He doesn't speak. So every Wednesday night, he holds up his Lions pin on his collar. He wears his pin every single day. He holds up his pin and looks at me expecting, and I say, no meeting tomorrow. Okay. But he misses those meetings we're not having. But they found a job for him they always do a concession stand for the youth fair and rodeo. His job is to put the chips in the little boat that they pour the cheese over. He is the best chip putter inner that they've ever had. That's his job. Every single year he goes and he does the chips, and they found that job for him, and they make sure that he's included. So we need to think about those people that do have disabilities and be open. And he plays a great harmonica. Yes, he does. If you've ever heard him, it's amazing. He can't speak, but he can play the harmonica. It's kind of cool.
Susie, I have a point. Knowing the people from different culture also let you know their food, the way they dress up. The part that I enjoy the most is their clothing and their jewelries. As a woman, I really enjoy that. And
Yes.
sometimes I even reach out and ask them, hey, where did you buy that? So can I have seen so many Lions members when they are invited to our clubs, they put on our kind of clothes, like, Nepalese dresses, the hats, and they wear those souvenir, we present them. So that brings the closeness. And there's a lot of research that says that when you are surrounded by people who make you happy, who make you present yourself, you live longer and happier.
That's
So
exactly right.
I think that's the recipe of having pluralism in each club, is to be happy and live longer.
Yes, ma'am. That is great. Yes.
Susie, Kathy wrote something really, really nice. Also, she said disability doesn't limit great service ideas and attitude. And as a matter of fact, it probably encourages
Yes.
more. Esmeralda shared that one of their new members only speaks Spanish and has a child with a disability. So they just went and started up a new branch club. Now that's the way to do it.
Right. That's right.
And Vinod said, we learn from them as they learn from us. They provide different ideas.
Yes.
Oh, that actually came from Gloria, I think.
That's right. Yes, that is good. So yes, we do need to bring those people in that are different and learn from them. Albert Einstein said, the significant problems we face cannot be solved by the same level of thinking that created them. So that's just a thought there. We're going to kind of talk about routines and how, these could make people uncomfortable. Now, this one I'm talking about informal routines. The next one is formal. So, some things that we think of as formal may be the prayers and the pledges. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But what are informal routines or customs that we do that might make people uncomfortable?
For me, sometimes it's food, since we can eat pork. And I don't want to feel like I'm odd because I did not eat their food or something like that. So I was like, I'm sorry, there's nothing against you or the food. It just, I don't eat.
Today I'll eat the mashed potatoes.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. Right, the food. What's something else?
Is the clothing, the vest that we wear, considered formal or informal?
I'd put that in the informal.
You know, I fought that for years, that I was not going to wear that darn vest. And you see, I have on my vest today because I do realize the importance of it now.
Right. But there are many, many younger members that do not want a vest. Now they'll wear a gold polo shirt with the Lions emblem and the name of their club on it, and that's fine if that's what they want to do. We started a new club that were a number of years ago that were majority very young people, and they did not want a vest. Number two, the vests are very, very expensive, and there's a lot of our younger people that, you know, sometimes they're barely making it paycheck to paycheck, and you expect them to pay $60 for a vest. That makes it really hard. So if we're every first Friday of every month, you have to wear your vest, that kind of excludes them because they can't afford to go and buy that vest. So yeah, I think vest is one thing that we need to make sure is a option, not a requirement. What's something else? Did anything come up in the chats, Christy?
Dues and fees can be a challenge.
Yes. What about selling tickets? Go ahead. What did Karen say?
I said, I can recall a time when I went to the Dallas Founders Lions Club meeting, and there was two young people in the room. One of the young people was a young lady whose father had been a district governor in T1. And I went to them. I was the speaker that day, and I went to her and said, "Thank you for being here." And she says, I said, you know, please ask more of your friends that are of your age to join in with us. And she says, I wouldn't mind doing that, but we have no interest in coming to a formalized meeting like this. And I'm only here because my dad asked me to be here. Elsewise, I wouldn't be here at all. I don't want to go through listening to people talk. I don't want to go through a meeting like this. It's very, very seldom that I can get the time to do it. And then she said, but I will say this. How many people do you need to work in your next project?
Exactly. That's so true of our younger people these days. Yeah. They are so busy that time is a factor in that.
And Susie, it looks like one club, Esmeralda's club, has lowered their dues, you know, for that. And then BN says, wonderful presentation, Susie. So
thank you. Wait, it makes us think, doesn't it? Yeah. Other things, just real quickly that we talk about when we're doing this, and we have a long time to do it, is, you know, things like singing, selling tickets, you know, especially young people. I keep saying young people, but you know, they may not have that dollar to buy that ticket. We shake that little cup or that little bedpan or whatever in front of them and expect them to put money in, and they may not have it. But we really need to think about those little things that we do. And then the formal practices we had mentioned earlier. I think Fred had talked about the prayers and the you know, our pledges and those type things that we do at all the meetings. And I agree, sometimes we have to be careful what we do and what we say and how we present those. Other thoughts on formal practices?
Christy, am I unmuted?
Yes, you are, friend.
Okay. I think sometimes even the Pledge of Allegiance or even the Pledge of the Texas flag, I mean, honestly, when people are from different countries, how do they know? They don't know. I mean, I don't even know the Pledge of the Texas flag.
Exactly.
So
that's right.
I learned it, but I don't really know it, you know.
Right. I finally learned it when I was district governor, and we said it so many places. I finally learned it. Okay, let's go on to the next slide. Are there resistance to change in our environment? And we've kind of discussed that already when we were talking about, you know, the different dimensions. Some clubs, I think there are a few out there that still resist that change, but I think for the most part, we as Lions are doing a good job of not resisting change and understanding change has to happen. We're not we're not our grandfather's Lions Club. We've heard that a million times, I know, but it is different, and we've come a full circle, I think, on that. Next slide. And this, our role as a Lion leader. All of the information we've discussed about diversity is only of use if we make a personal effort ourselves to support a culture of pluralism within our association. We can't expect somebody else to do it, and then we say, why aren't they like us? Why are we letting them in? That one person in a club that resists this change can really be detrimental to the whole club. So each of us needs to make a personal effort to change this. The next slide, we were talking about getting to know people. To discover individual differences, we have to communicate. And a great way to communicate is serving together as we go out there and pick up trash on the side of the road. You know, meetings, we really don't have time to talk about each other and about our families and, you know, our cultures and the things we do. But if we're out there picking up trash or serving nachos, that's a good time that we chit chat and learn about each other. And I think we have to discover how we're different from each other as we go through. Go ahead, next. The ways we support diversity: continue positive measures, remove obstacles, and support new measures. What do you think will be a final result of encouraging diversity in Lions?
Membership and
More members.
Yeah.
More members, more ideas, more fun, more
service.
membership.
New ideas.
Yes, new ideas.
More service, really.
Right, more service.
Real global organization.
Say that one more time.
Real global organization.
Yeah. There's so many benefits that we'll find as clubs and as Lions, and to help our state, our country, you know, the entire international organization as we do this. We really haven't spoken much about kindness through here. Just some thoughts on that. We as Lions, I think we do that kindness every day, that we reach out to people. Just a little story my daughter told me. She was walking down the hall at the hospital one day, fixing to leave. I don't know why she was there, but had visited, I guess, and got into the emergency room, and there was a lady just screaming, crying, pacing, "My baby's gone, my baby's gone, my baby's gone." She said everybody was sitting around looking at her and staring at her. And so she said, "Mom, I don't know why, but I went over and hugged her." She said, "I just held her for a couple of minutes and said, I'm sorry. And I left." And, you know, how many of us would see someone frantic, screaming, you know, and I walk over and give them a hug? I think we kind of shy away from that. But, you know, that's where our heart has to be, where we have to be kind. And there's so many little random acts of kindness we speak about all the time. You know, things that we can do: pay for the car behind us food, or, you know, just a smile, slow down and let somebody in front of you instead of trying to speed up and get ahead of them. And, you know, just look around and see what we can do every day. That little smile can help somebody that's really having a bad day. So I think we need to think about kindness at all times. And we do as Lions. I think that's a big thing. I have a poster that what's up on the screen now that says this, and I thought it really fit. Diversity is different individuals valuing each other regardless of skin, intellect, talent, or years. I thought that was a really good definition of diversity. Just one last thought, that I found this in a Dean Koontz book that I was reading, and it said, "Different can be good," her wise friend replied. "Sometimes different builds a bridge between what you are and what you can be." And I really liked that little quote. Any other thoughts as we close up here? Chrissy, I think I saw a couple of things popping up. I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's a couple other really nice little quotes. Joanne shared, "A smile increases your face value." I love that.
That is good.
Yeah, there are young people who want to serve, and we need to find a way to reach them. You know, I agree. I think we all agree that. But
Lion, sorry about that. Lion Susie, it was a great presentation. And is there any way that, Lion Christie could share this presentation? I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you. And I can send the PowerPoint. There's a few more slides in the one that I use all the way through. If anybody would like to have this PowerPoint, my email is lionsusie, and Susie is SUZI. Christy can put it up for us at gmail.com. And if you'll send me an email and just ask for it, I can forward it to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for letting me be here. I enjoyed being with y'all this morning, and it's a good thing. We need to think about those around us. Thank you.
wonderful job. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you,
See you in
Councilman
Kerrville.
Cherry.
Yes,
Yeah,
we will be there.
Thank you, Lion
Council.
Susie.
Well, before we take a break to get to the cabinet meeting, I think that Keith is going to share Leader Dogs, and then also Keith, the Texas Lions Recycling Center also. I did not get a slide up here in time for that one. If you can talk about both of those, please.
Okay. Lion Joe is going to talk some about Leader Dogs.
All right, my turn. We're going to start with a puppy. For the first 7 weeks, the puppy and his mom. Then they take the puppy and it goes to a raiser who weans the puppy after it's weaned and spends its time for 12 basic commands to teach it to sit, stay, heel, etc. They test its ability to go up and down stairs. Then they begin socialization reactions to real life. That includes traffic, malls, and grocery stores. The puppy is on a special diet and a special schedule. Now's an opportunity to make a pledge for a donation. Say $10 just towards a puppy. Puppy gets lots of don'ts. They don't get people food, no raw hide bones, no frisbees, no balls, no tug of war. No hoarding your money. So now's the time again to make a donation. We'll take your pledge. After 12 to 13 months, the dog is brought back to Rochester Hills, Michigan for a complete physical and testing of the basic skills and socialization to real life situations. Then the dog moves to the next level and spends 4 months of additional training to learn 45 major commands, like find a sidewalk, find a curve, turn left, turn right. Last and most important step is to match that individual with someone 15 years or over 15 years of age that is legally blind, and then they will spend 26 days in on-site training. That's a little bit about Leader Dog for the Blind. Jenny Wood will be glad to answer any special questions. And again, your pledges towards Leader Dog for the Blind are greatly appreciated. Thank you.
One of the other charities that Christy had mentioned is the Texas Eyeglass Recycling Center. This is located in Midland, Texas. We process over 1 million pairs of glasses a year there. They come in by the truckload from some of the Walmart stores and some of the other major retailers that collect them. Plus, many Lions around the state also act as collection points for the glasses. Many of us take boxes of glasses to Kerrville when we go down for the cabinet meetings, council of governors meetings, and put them into a trailer there. Others ship them to Midland on that. A lot of the glasses go into Mexico. One of the things that we have done with that center is that we have expanded into the country of Mexico. It started out with 3 clinics down there. Coy Gonzalez is the head person that puts that together. They're now up to almost 30 some odd clinics around the country where they're taking those glasses and giving them out to the adults that cannot use them otherwise. They have different rules in Mexico than what we have here in the United States as far as who can receive the glasses. So they can put them on children as well as adults down there. The funds that we donate go towards the assistance with processing. Many of the churches and organizations go on mission trips to third world countries. They get their glasses from the recycling center. The recycling center will ship the glasses to them. There's no cost for the glasses themselves, but they do have to pay the shipping costs. So this is where part of the donations come into play, is buying the boxes and the tape and those things that are needed to facilitate the shipping of it. Plus, we have a director and a warehouse manager that are on staff down there that need to be paid as well. So again, the donations go towards supporting that operation, and it's one of, I think, 17 around the country that are authorized by Lions International for eyeglass collections. There is no support that comes from LCI on that, but it is recognized and referrals are made to them. So again, Texas Eyeglass Recycling Center, tlerc.org, and can get the information to you.
And then before we close, before Billy closes us for the the Midwinter Conference part here, I believe that Keith and I think you guys might have a little surprise mention about some tail twisting we will be doing for the second half for the cabinet meeting. And this slide, by the way, is a slide with 3 pictures. One of them has hula hoops with a young African-American girl. The other is really old-fashioned with a boy and a man doing a hula hoop, and then some sort of animated figure doing a hula hoop. And it says, how much would your club donate to see? What is this all about, Keith?
Joe, jump in.
All right. Well, what we want to do is continue to get donations from the clubs directly, not just everyone who happens to be one of the 135 listeners right now. If you would like to make a donation, an extra donation towards any of our 9 charities, this is your opportunity to send a club donation to the 2X1 treasurer, designate which charity your club's interested in supporting. Whichever club raises the most money by the time we have our annual convention, whether it's virtual or live, we don't know, we will ask the then past district governor, Billy Kettner, to go to that club and demonstrate our new item that Keith is going to present to him, our fancy hula hoop. And he will come to your club. He doesn't know it yet, so he's just been put on the spot. And he will actually demonstrate the art of how to use a hula hoop. And we do request the club televise this and show it. Otherwise, we'll have to make him show up as past district governor at a live convention and use the hula hoop for all of us.
And
Keith, anything to add?
So what we're saying here is that we have gone a different route on this virtual meeting. We're trying to encourage you to make donations to the various charities. Thank you to those of you that have already made pledges on that. And again, we're asking that you talk to your clubs and go ahead and send in donations. Send those in to Treasurer Danny, and we will then find out who is going to be the club that has the wonderful opportunity to have Billy twirl his tail. Thank you, Christy.
That is a wonderful idea, and I accept that challenge. I know I could use a hula hoop in the 1960s, but I'll probably need a little practice to get back into shape.
We'll get it to you.
Okay. I want to thank all our presenters. I think we had a wonderful midwinter conference here, and I know it wasn't in person, but I think it was so engaging, so many different things that I know I haven't seen or heard. So I really appreciate everybody that attended the Midwinter Conference. And not all of you would want to or need to stay around for the cabinet meeting. So if you need to leave, feel free to do so. But if you want to stay, everybody is welcome at the cabinet meeting. So, Lion Christie, do we have any final business?
I don't think so. Just some more great comments in the chat. Thanks everybody for sharing. Thanks again for the other pledges. Fred is pledging to Texas Lions Camp. Rajendra also put all of the links all at one time, so you can just go to one place and copy those and get to all of the. I love Pamela Baker donated $50 to Leader Dogs in honor of Jenny Woods. Excellent job.
Yeah.
Very good. I don't think so, Billy. I think that just a reminder that when we come back, we're going to be breaking for 5 minutes. Billy, you have enough time? Okay.
That'll be enough.
Okay. And you can stay on the Zoom or you can click out and click back in. And then we will ask that anybody who comes back in for the cabinet meeting, for Peggy's sake, to please put your same thing again, your name, your club, and your position so that she can take attendance.
Thank you, Lion Christie. At this time, I'm going to adjourn the Midwinter Conference, and we'll take a 5-minute break, come back right at, let's call it 10:42, thereabouts, and we'll be back for the cabinet meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks all you presenters. Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.